Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Standard Grind with Jack. And now we're just going to be jumping into some arena. I know my room's messy, I'm so sorry. This. Jumping into this. Alright, so we're just going to run it back with some goblins. Just another day. No spoilers, no craziness to talk about. Started another lore series with Jace and the shorts. So if you enjoy lore content, go check out the YouTube shorts before we start. If you enjoy goblins content, please like and subscribe. It's the easiest way to support me and show me that you enjoy what I do. Secondly, we are really close to where we need to be in order to hit monetization. I would love to be able to do this full time. Right now, unfortunately, I'm not able to, and that's totally fine. We're grinding to the top. But if you want to help support me towards monetization, just watch some of these long form videos. It's the best way to support me. Once I get to 3,000 watch hours, then I'll start being a YouTuber officially, and I can do this full time. I can start doing deck lists. I can start writing articles for you guys, gals, y'all. But until then, everything's free. It's always gonna be free, but it's just about how much time I can afford to put into this. And so, with that aside, I really appreciate you watching, and let's jump into it. So we play goblins, of course. It's all we do on this channel. But right now, we're trying a build that's Gruul. There's a reason you usually want to play mono red. I feel like right now you get access to just so many good red goblins, there's not really a reason to splash a color, and often a splash will slow you down. However, this deck splashes in order to have some late game resiliency in the form of Afterburner Expert. This is one of the new goblins from Aetherdrift. So Afterburner Expert is a 3-mana 4/2 creature goblin. You exhaust for 4 mana, put 2/1 counters on it, and then it becomes a 6/4, which is kind of insane. But also it has this Vengevine text. Whenever you activate a non-exhaust ability, if it's in your graveyard, return it to the battlefield. So this is extremely busted with just normal exhaust synergies, but specifically with a card like Draconics Engineer, where you pay 1 mana, you can give something haste, but the activation of the exhaust is before this colon. So in Magic, it's really interesting. You have exhaust, or you have costs, and you have effects. So you pay a cost, and that happens before the effect goes on the stack. And then once you've paid the cost, then the effect goes upon the stack. So when you pay your red, that's going to trigger the exhaust, which is going to put this trigger on the stack before this trigger is put on the stack. And so because this trigger is put on the stack before it resolves first. Then after this trigger resolves, the Draconics Engineer will happen because, no, you pay the cost, the trigger goes on the stack. Before the trigger resolves, then the other trigger is placed on the stack, resolving first, and then your second trigger resolves, giving it haste. So that's why it's like a Vengevine, because it comes back, it can immediately attack, and you can do it at instant speed because this does not say at sorcery speed. So you can surprise your opponents with big blockers, you can do some crazy stuff. Also, Grease Wrench Goblin, an amazing card. Actually, shout out to Goblin Lackey. Goblin Lackey gave me this tech. I thought this card wasn't that good, but Goblin Lackey says that this is the best goblin that we've gotten since Skirk Prospector, which I was very taken aback by, because Skirk Prospector, if you know goblins, if you play goblins, Skirk Prospector is one of the best goblins we've seen in such a long time. However, Grease Wrench Goblin has the ability to pressure your opponent in the early game. It trades up if you're blocking, and if you're flooded, you can pay 3 mana, discard 2 cards, draw 2 cards. So it literally is a Fable, second mode on a Fable, and on top of that, it puts a counter on it, making it a better threat. So this card's super powerful. It's really good with Howl Squad Heavy, being able to give your things haste. Also, having that Rabble Master text, where at the beginning of combat, you make a dude swing in. The max speed text rarely comes up. Sometimes it does in these grindy games, and then you get to just play a Draconics Engineer, exhaust, give things, or make a 4/4 dragon, then give things haste, bring back your 1 Afterburner Expert. You're swinging for a billion. The game usually swings around really fast. Right now, there's a couple of graveyard decks in Standard, so this main deck, Agatha's Soul Cauldron, is kind of a meta call. I don't know how I feel about it, but we're testing it. And it's really good if your opponent kills or counters your Krenko and it goes to the graveyard somehow, or even better if they mill you and they mill your Krenko into the graveyard, or they make you discard it. That's also something you can do against Pixie. Then you can Agatha's, tap, exile a creature from your graveyard, and as long as Agatha's in play and that card's exiled under it, all your creatures that have counters on them have all activated abilities. So if you have 4 creatures with +1/+1 counters, they're all Krankos. So that seems pretty bad for your opponent. Sideboard's pretty straightforward. We're testing out Paw Patch, Lithomantic, one more, Agatha's. This is the sideboard that I was looking at a list. Shout out to the guy who got 7th, or no, he went 7-0 with a list playing goblins, and I shouted him out at my Twitter. I forget his name exactly, but absolute legend. And this is the sideboard that they had put together. Super impressed by Chandra. Chandra is one of those cards that's super innocuous. It doesn't look good. I'll let you read it, and then I'll explain it. Make sure you're hydrating. So Chandra is the way that you can keep these 1/1 tokens that you want to attack with, but you don't want to die, alive. Every turn you make a 1/1, and sometimes it suicides into a Screaming Nemesis, and that just causes them to be able to ping one of your things, and then everything goes downhill super fast. However, if you're making a 1/1 every turn, and you're instantly putting it into a crew, then you're not making a 1/1 every turn, you're making a 3/2 every turn. Also, I found that these vehicles are very important against domain. I feel like you might have a case to play Chandra like in the main as a one of, just because of how good it is against domain. They go Wrath of God, then you go Chandra, immediately attack for 3 because you use 0 to make a 3/2, and then you go to combat and you crew it for free and give it haste. Then you attack for 3. The next turn, if you play a creature, right, you can tap the creature because it doesn't have haste to crew your 3/2 and then make another 3/2 and attack for 6. So it just makes the math against domain really, really good. And it's worked so far. The only thing I want to say about this sideboard right now is I kind of want to find room for Baloth. I think that Baloth, if you're playing standard right now, Baloth is one of the best cards that you can be playing. Obsidian Baloth, when it enters, you gain 4 life. It's a 4-mana 4/4, but if a spell or an ability an opponent controls would cause you to discard a card, put it on the battlefield instead of putting it in your graveyard. And right now, there's a lot of bounce, and they'll just make you discard cards willy-nilly. And if you can just randomly throw a Baloth into play, you're going to win some games. I think 3 is fine. Oh, that's 16. Silly Jack. No, if you know me, you're going to be like, why does he not have Leyline of the Void in his sideboard? And you know what? You'd be completely right. I should be playing Leyline. I'm testing out a version without Leyline to see how it's going to go. We have 2 Agathas. That would be 3. I think we need all 4 if we're not playing Leyline. I personally think that Leyline... Oh, no, we put it in the main. What did we do? 62? This isn't... I guess we don't need 4. Let's try it like that. So I think that Baloth's really good right now, and I think that Leyline might not be where we want to be with sideboard. It's like 4 sideboard slots is just so many, and if we never play against a graveyard deck, then it feels pretty dead. And I was really impressed by seeing there was 2 lists. There was an 11, a list that got 11 wins. I think it was in a challenge, or something like that. It was insane. I think they top 8'd. This hand's not good. This hand's better. Bottoming a 3-drop. Probably this one. Oh no. Yeah. Because we could, here's the thing, we could bottom the Agathas because it doesn't do much. The issue is it's a castable, and if we never draw our 3rd land, we want to be able to cast something. If we keep 2 3-drops and we never have a 3rd land, we're in really bad shape. I feel like Goblins is in just a really good spot right now against bounce. It really struggles versus specifically domain, but there's not a lot of other decks that we're scared of. Teferi. Okay. Seems like this is going to be Jeskai control. We drew our third land, which is nice. Do we want to exile that Teferi? Probably not. Get on the board, hit early and often. Shift into second gear. It is Jeskai control, so we'll go Howl Squad heavy. This plays around the temporary lockdown that they're going to slam next turn. Shift into third gear. This is where I wish this Agatha's was something else. I guess, yeah, this is where we wish that the Agatha's was the Afterburner Expert, because now we could go Afterburner Expert Firebrand. However, we'll just settle for your graveyard. This one. And we can pump our Firebrand now, which is kind of cool. 12 max speed. Yeah, now we have no cards in hand and they have 6 and they're playing control. So this is definitely not where we want to be. This is where traditionally we'd be like, where's my Goblin Ringleader? Ral the Crackling Wit. Okay. Oh, I got to check my phone. Make sure that this is all working. Maybe. And okay, it's not frozen. That's amazing. Okay. We did draw a mountain though. Okay. We got this. We'll go to combat. We will attack your face. You're going to chump block because that's just smart. Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Now we're going to exile a thing to do a thing because I want to pass my priority. Oh, but I can't because I can pump it a billion times. That's right. Okay, temporary lockdown to hit both my permanents. That's pretty good. Respectable, good. Hey, what's up, Sal? Appreciate you being here, bro. Thank you for dropping in. How's your night going? Lockdown, okay, that's fine. Paw Patch is cool, though, because it would mean that... sure. They got to kill me eventually. Paw Patch would mean theoretically that I could go kill the lockdown, get my things back, but oof, there's a Beza. They're going to round this corner really fast. Go on, just editing. How's your weekend? No, I wasn't able to make it to an RCQ. My whole family got hit by a really bad bug. You know, we were all getting sick. And I was like, I'm going to wake up early and go to pastimes. And I wasn't able to fall asleep well that night. And then I just woke up super late and we didn't make it. But we cheered on people from the sidelines. Yeah, I feel the editing thing. I'm trying to do a lot more lore shorts. What was the other thing? I just did a spoiler video, which is pretty cool. But I gotta spend more time editing the YouTube shorts. I think if I could make a compilation. Okay, that's a lot of lands. I think if I can make a compilation, that's what Nikachu said when I played him at the energy, the Pioneer energy. He said just make a compilation of all your turn 3 wins. Like make a compilation of all your the times that you just top deck lands. Because people love top 5s, people love list videos, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I should definitely do that. So I gotta go back and spend more time editing. Besa was what won them the game. So I kind of just gotta bring in more resilient threats. Cut the Agathas. Just kind of run it like that. We know they're gonna have a bunch of board wipes, so Chandra is a good way to consistently push. Yeah, you're right. I'm lucky. It's always spoiler season. We have 3 standard legal spoiler sets going at the same time. How is that possible? It doesn't make any sense. We have Tarkir, Final Fantasy, and now Spider-Man all at the same time. They're like, oh yeah, content creators, you want more? We can give you more. We can crank the dials. Eventually, we're going to be begging for them to stop. It is too much, I agree. This hand's decent. Let's try it. We don't have a 1-drop. Doesn't feel the greatest, but we have our lands. resilient threats. A scry at the top is terrifying. Lightning Helix? Yeah. That's a good one. If you're playing Jeskai Control, it's like the card. Oh, I didn't play my green source. I guess this allows me to have Hasty Threat, which is pretty important. I shift into second gear. This gives my 4/2 next turn haste. Get lost, eh? Well, sorry, the goblins can't take a hint. We don't understand what you mean by get lost. No comprende. If this is a, this doesn't make sense because it doesn't push pressure. But if it's that, we can leave it on top. And now it doesn't die to Lightning Helix. They have to use a board wipe on this. And then I can just go Afterburner Expert map onto it next turn. Potentially having a 5/5 or a 5 whatever. As is, let's just get our value out of their board wipe. And let's map onto the Howl Squad again. This way, they're going to... That's fine. We kind of know that they're going to get lost something, so they're going to get lost the Howl Squad. Sure. Should have put the counter somewhere else, but I could say I'm playing around a Witchstalker's Frenzy, but there's really no reason to put that second counter there. First counter, yes. Second counter, and meh. As is, board wipe. Yep, we get our value out of the board wipe by exiling all the cards. Oh, but Chandra's not a goblin. Okay. Beautiful. I'm gonna just go double Lord. Bastronaut has max speed. Double Lord gives us the most value next turn. So if we go Bastronaut Horde Master, no, it's just so much better to go double Lord. If they have a Wrath, we get 4 death triggers. It's close because the Bastronaut has double strike, so it's like really close. But see, because now they're gonna grind like this. They're digging for another board wipe. But yeah, that's the best draw. So we can go here. We're not going to play this. Go to combat, no attacks, and they're going to board wipe. Attack first, of course, then board wipe. No attacks means no board wipe. Probably means counter magic. We don't want to overextend into the Sunfall. What we could do is just play the Grease Wrench. Let's just go to combat. See what they do. Probably going to exile target attacking creature. Is that what it says? Yeah. Probably going to cast a spell. No. Chump block. Chump block's good. Chump block resolves. So we can play this. We save this. If they kill this Afterburner Expert with targeted removal that does not exile, I can just activate this Grease Wrench to not discard anything, to put a counter on it, and bring the Afterburner Expert back in their end step so I can untap and attack with it during my turn. So they counter it. Respect. They have a Sunfall probably. I'm going to play another Afterburner to try to push damage next turn in case they don't have a Sunfall. We haven't seen a Sunfall yet. But I just always, yeah, I just always assume that they're there for that reason. Okay. Great. I think we just pass and make a dragon. Make your 6/6. That's fine. Sure. We're racing. They probably have double lightning helix. Make your dinosaur dragon thing. Play this. Play this. Auto pay. The issue with this now is that they can go exile target attacking creature, and I don't think we can race them. They make a fish as a blocker. Exile the Afterburner expert. Yep. Opponents played this really well. Doing a great job using their resources. Like, they used all their mana there perfectly. That's awesome. All right, we need something crazy off the top that can play through double fish. Plus counterspell, plus removal. That's what I'm expecting. I'm expecting make a fish, counterspell removal. Don't know if that does it. We can go to combat. I'll attack. And I'll play this blocker. They can lightning helix the blocker and then just kill me. I will, my last act of defiance, I will ping them. And then say good game. Nah. They can get the satisfaction. Respect. GG's opponent, well played. Well, starting off with Jeskai control, that's a way to start. I think traditionally we have a good matchup versus them. So that's interesting to see. And that was a game where we drew a bunch of Afterburner experts. I think Agatha's did not feel good there. Afterburner's decent. Just go up a Krenko, call it 60. Oh. Run it back. See if the numbers feel a little bit better. We should always have a really good control matchup. That's something that like Goblins is like usually geared towards, is being able to grind, being able to like go to the late game and push damage consistently over time. So having a card like Agatha's in my main probably just doesn't make sense. So it makes sense that we just cut some. Wow, these Afterburner experts just want to be my lands. They're like, look. No. This hand's much better. I want this to be versus bounce. Here's my 1-drop. You can kill it now. Wait. Wait, what? Opponent. I am confused. I'll make a token at the end step and then pass it over to you. Play a board wipe? No, they're playing counter magic. And I'm going to go Goblin and then say, got him. Play a Lord. Sure. I will attack for 7 and pass. Yeah, they probably had a counter magic up. Oh, no, there's the white. There's the white splash. Bin the counter spell. That makes sense. We're just gonna go to combat. Shield's Edict. Non-token A. That's fine. If I double pump this is 4, 8, 9. So that's fine. We're just gonna sack this one. I get a death trigger. That's a great card. Go to combat, attack with everything. Kapow. Max the speed out. I can play this on my next turn, so we're just going to play this bad boy and pass. Shrug. Hands in the air shrug. GG's opponent will play. Alrighty then. I can't say that was bounce. That looks like just Esper control. I think we got a pretty good Esper control matchup. They were even on the play, I think. Don't remember. Alright, opponent. Lands and spells. Lands and spells. Oh. Not this hand. Not that hand. All right. We can go 1, 1, and we can cast all of our spells. The beauty of red is you get to do stuff like this. I will attack. The issue with this hand is it loses its temporary lockdown quite spectacularly. All right. Cavern on Goblin. The deuce. I guess I could have gone to combat first. That was me being very silly. Silly Jack. Could have gotten a free token there. I'm a silly, silly guy. I make mistakes all the time. Don't act like this guy. 'Cause I'm just Jack. Alright, we're going to attack. Put them to 16. Seer Slicer token. Untap, keep, draw, crack the token that they made last turn from their deduce. They just pass it over again. It's not a good sign. I think we just play another Lord. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Show me something. They just 3 steps ahead? Looting? They're really looking for removal. Exercise? I'll end the turn. Easily kill them next turn. If they don't board wipe. If they board wipe. Yep. I mean, that's like an awesome board wipe for us because we could draw a billion cards. I'm like super excited now. When my opponent doesn't Sunfall, this deck is dope. When my opponent Sunfalls, I'm like, no, my death triggers, please, God, why? Okay, Okay, I'm making less jokes now. I'm making less jokes now. That's really good. We just go Lord. That's an attack for 3 and 2 is 5. Okay, so we have 5 mana to work with. We can't cast 2 of any of these spells. I think the Lord makes the most sense. They haven't shown me Sunfall. They've shown me Split Up. So if I get an Afterburner Expert, this Trichomotics Engineer, it still doesn't do anything because I can't attack the same turn stuff enters. I think putting them to 2 makes the most sense. I mean 3, 4 after I count the life triggers. Combat 3, and then I really don't want to overextend into this. I'm gonna lose both these other creatures. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I won't. If I draw a land, I can go Draconautics, make a dragon, and that plays around this. So I won't do it. Death triggers are good. I love death triggers. This card will single-handedly lose me this game. So we can't play that one. Because it'll just keep making tokens, they'll keep giving them life, and they'll keep killing my stuff, and then they'll just end up higher than they were. I've done this before. So if we go 5 mana, we go... Yeah, because haste does nothing. Oh my god. It just gains them 3 life. But to be fair, none of this will deal damage this turn. I just got to figure out how to set up the best for next turn. So in that case, we just try to put as many spells out as possible. Which I guess playing the Howl Squad and the Horde Master is the same as doing literally anything else. If we do all the computations, right, we put Howl Squad and Bastronaut into play. We put Horde Master and Bastronaut and Seer Slicer into play. Like, we do all that, we still are net gaining them 3 no matter what. And this is the way that we keep the best cards that we have in exile around. So I think that's worth it. They're going to go up to 6, and then I'm going to pass. Those other cards are gone forever. They're going to board wipe. Yep. And then I'm going to go back to my turn, draw a land. Or a Krenko. Krenko might just beat them to death with his normal 3/3, like justness. 3/3 of justice. It's either Krenko or these two, and I think these two are better because it's 4 damage over 2 bodies instead of 3 over 1, and I can't. If I draw land, I can double spell next turn. What am I saying? If I draw a land, I can't. No, if I draw a 1-drop, I can double spell next turn. I guess that's what I meant to say. Have me Edict. I will sack this one that will gain you 1 billion life. This one will just beat your face. Actually, it feels like they're going to kill this one. Go to mine. Oh. Oh. Brr. Okay. Attack. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Opponent, I believe in you. You can do this. I would like to pump. Pump, pump, pump it up. Now it's a 3-turn clock. They're going to demo field this still in combat, and that's fine. I would like to take my action and then my deck. Get a basic. They have another white source. I can just make a dragon, so I'm going to end. I'm not going to play the Krenko because they're going to, if they have a board wipe, like this Day of Judgment, I'm just going to let that resolve, and I still have my 2-turn clock. Play the Krenko. Pass it over. Don't play another spell. Don't play another spell. I need them to draw land. Okay. I forgot we're holding a land, so it's going to ask us to do stuff. Land, please. Opponent, we are sending you good vibes. Good vibes. Okay. That's kind of what we wanted. Go to combat. I know this doesn't feel right, but if I make 1/1s, they gain life, and then I don't have lords. The issue is I could just kill them with 2 swings. But this blocks next turn and dies. They go up to 4, but then I have 2 lethal attackers next turn. So if they draw another land, it does work. The math just barely is better for me to attack here than it is for me to make a token, and that makes no sense. But if you think about it, it kind of does. Grease Wrench Goblin's going to put them to 4. So these 3s will not kill them anymore. I need to draw a Lord now, which is insane. This Anchorage is going to block one of them. If they have nothing else, the other one's going to get through for 3, and they'll go to 1. Board wipe. They're reading my cards to see if there's going to be any more death triggers. Anoint. Okay, well, in response, I'm going to discard this card. Draw a card. That's a decent card. Not at max speed yet. Question mark, question mark, question mark. We want 1 Lord. This puts them to 5, though. Oh, my God. Okay, I think this will be fine. We play the Dropkick Bomber. They get a trigger. They go to 5. We play the Bastronaut. They get a trigger. They go to 6. I go to combat. So now, if I attack, they block with a 2/3. They fog it. If I tap it, I make 3 2/2s. They gain 3. They go to 9. But then I have 3 2/2s. And that kills them for sure next turn, I think. Let me think. 3 2/2s is 6, plus the Krenko itself attacking, plus the Dropkick, plus the 2/2 with double strike. It won't have double strike next turn, though, if I don't attack now. I mean, if they block, then it won't have double strike anyways. I think the math still is a little bit faster if I just attack. Just a little bit faster, because if I tap, they're going to get more authority of the console triggers. This also forces them to chump block with their 2/3. Pump spell the 2/3? They could pump spell the 2/3. Okay, I'm scared they're going to give it indestructible and death touch. No, it's just a chump. That's great for me. We'll pass. We have lethal on the board. Opponent can kill the Krenko. That's fine. I can pump this burnout and just kill them. So see, if we would have tapped, I guess they'd be at 9, 3, 6. We still would have gotten there. It's just barely. It's so close. All attacks, 2 attackers. Pump. If their last card's another exercise, then I lose. But we're gonna do it. Oh, so close. GG's, opponent. Jeskai control, no shot. Don't even have a chance. Esper control, I guess much better somehow. I really don't know. On to the next one. Let us continue. Hope everybody's having a beautiful night. Doing some standard grinding. It's a beautiful Sunday night here. All right, jumping back into it. Probably going to try to do 5 more matches. Usually I try to do 5 minimum. Sometimes I do a little bit more just for fun. I mean, I like playing the goblins. I will play the game first. This hand is kind of meh. But I get to go first. All right. Thornspire Verge. Nothing. They go land. Pass. I go land. Draconic. No, land Hordemaster. If they kill it, then I get a death trigger. If they don't kill it, then I get to go Howl Squad Heavy and deal some damage the following turn. Play a mountain, leave it ambiguous, and as to which what we are doing. As to which what we... Ugh. Howl Squad, Engineer, Horde Master. Opponent, swarming it up with this beautiful Llanowar Elves that, meh, to each their own. Play a Lord. At least this tells me they're on Golgari right off the bat, which is totally fine. We have a hand that can grind pretty well. We can make a dragon, make a billion tokens. Caves of Kolios. Murder? Murder! Now we get to... That's a good death trigger. They're going to attack, yeah. Scared of the Lord, which makes a lot of sense. Play the Grease Wrench. Play the Draconotics. I can make a dragon next turn, or play the Howl Squad, depending. The one thing about not playing Scamp anymore is that Scamp would give you a lot of opportunities to just like throw damage. So I kind of miss Scamp sometimes. Play the Thornspire Ridge. Access to 4 mana. You just slam a Howl Squad Heavy. And then we can go to combat. And we can say, I'm going to attack with everything. Don't really want to attack with the Grease Wrench, but if they want to trade their Llanowar Elves, I'll push 2 more damage for it. Yeah, and if they don't block, then that's amazing. 14. Pass. If I draw a land, I can make a dragon, give it haste. That's pretty strong. Flying Hasty Dragon's pretty strong. Let's go land. Do we go Flying Hasty Dragon, or do we just go Lord? Probably have a removal spell. Let's go Flying Hasty Dragon. You only live once. Caw! I mean, dragons don't make that noise, but yeah, you know what I mean. Caw! 4/4. 1/1/1/1. 2/3. 3/3. 2/1. Question mark, question mark, question mark. How do you feel about this, Llanowar Elves? What? Llanowar Elves goes, that's bull crap. Board wipe. Opponent's probably looking for their second white source for that Sunfall. Is this junk control? Are we going to play against 3 control decks back to back to back? Has that what's been beating Domain? I have no issue with it, but I think that'd be really funny. All right, opponent, give it to me. I believe... To cast the Massacre Worm, they had to kill themselves. Oh, the pain. Opponent probably could have killed me there. It's like Abzan Reanimator with like Massacre Worm. It's like Abzan Ramp into Massacre Worm. I don't know. I think we probably should just like trim our top end and just like try to be stupid aggressive. That means like bring in like I don't know. Wishstalker's Frenzies for the Llanowar Elves? Like, I'm so confused. Let's take out the Wishstalker's Frenzies. We're on the play. No, we're on the draw, so we need to be more controlling. I didn't see anything. I saw literally nothing. They went cast down, Llanowar Elves, Massacre Worm, concede. I mean, ping themselves to die. I have no clue. Let's just try it as is. Why the hell not? I mean, yeah. I was like, maybe there's a consideration to playing Chandra because we're going to assume that they're playing board wipes. I mean, the Massacre Worm is literally a board wipe. We saw it. This hand will get me killed against a Massacre Worm. But I don't think we can mulligan it. Like, if we're just racing, this hand is going to be amazing. I guess maybe we might be able to get the toughness up to where we need him to be. Oh, this is where I miss Fanatical, Firebrand, and Scamp. I mean, we still have Fanatical, so Fanatic, come on. I'm the Goblin Ringleader summons thee. It doesn't work like that, but come on, buddy. I believe in you. I believe. Nope, it's okay. He's in the deck. You know, you can't just like expect goblins to show up when you need them. Like, that's the beauty of it. It's a surprise. That's the beauty of Magic. It's a surprise. Sometimes you draw what you need. Sometimes, you don't. Oh, that's what they're doing. I see it now. I can see it now. That's pretty cool. 6 mana Reanimate. Or 4 mana Reanimate. If they have something good in their graveyard, which they don't. We could just play a Lord. We could play a second Dropkick Bomber, and that would have actually made a lot more sense. But I think I like getting the Lord down now. Try to protect our stuff somewhat. Yeah, because that was silly of me. Quite silly. Probably going to lose to a board wipe, so I'm going to hold this Seer Slicer. So we have 5 mana, play both of these. Just play as Bash or not. It's a misplay, but now I'm running with it and trying to make excuses for why it's right. On the turn that I played this Dropkick Bomber, if I played this Seer Slicer, I'd have twice the number of tokens that I have, and now I'd have 4 times. Or yeah, it's just an order of magnitude. Lands. Oh. I wish I had a nice emote to say. I wish I was like, I'm so sorry. But I guess Liliana wouldn't say I'm sorry. Liliana would be like, burn, fucker, burn. Yeah, poor opponent. Not being able to and sadly this doesn't work the way that they think it does. Oh, it does? Same name. But the tokens don't have the same name. I guess maybe this does make sense. Like, because I thought that it wouldn't because they aren't named the same thing, but I think they are. If not, they errated it, which is good because that was always weird back then. I like the fact that they got rid of the tokens, but I don't know if that changes much. Land, combat, attack. I would not like to go to damage. It's just a little bit. And now it doesn't have double strike. I was going to say now it does double strike, but it does not. You have to deal damage 3 times. Triple black. That's not good. Triple black's not good. Oh, they just conceded. Thank God. I was really scared. They played their 3rd black source, and I was like, Massacre Worm? I don't think we can beat a Massacre Worm if they resolve Massacre Worm, but thankfully they didn't have Massacre Worm. The double Seer Slicer hand got there somehow. That's crazy. Yeah, let's just keep running it back. I kind of miss Scamp, but if you're winning, you can't say that you missed something. You're like, I missed this, and then you just keep winning. You're like, what? Okay. Most would be scared of goblin rocketeering, but not the Rocketeers. These goblins believe in using their elegant and explosive science to get their vehicles to go as high, far, and fast as possible. But it's hard to read things real fast. Your lips kind of just collapse upon themselves and don't want to enunciate. Nuclear catnip. I thought it was cantrip at first. And I was like, a D&D reference? Hell yeah. And hell yeah, I'll take the play. And hell yeah, I'll keep a keepable hand. As long as opponent's not playing bounce, we're going to be really happy. This is like the one hand where bounce like just destroys us. we're like terminal land. They're like terminal land discard. And then we're like, okay, turn 2. They're like turn 2, pick up discard. And we're like, okay. Things start to go downhill real fast. Okay, that's Golgari. So that's really good for us. It's an amazing sign, actually. So we just play Draconautics Engineer. Will be attacking for 3 next turn. Actually, I take it back. They'll have a cut down. Beautiful Blooming Marsh. I mean, now that I look at it, it's slightly less beautiful. I mean, I like cowboy stuff, but like as much as the next guy, right? But are those like saw blades moving the train? I'm not gonna think about it. Yeah, the guy died, but I guess that one made a dragon, so it's kind of worth killing him. But then this guy makes a dude and attacks right away. Is that a white mana source? So this is a junk deck. Fascinating. Okay. Opponent, I think you've made a horrible mistake. And I don't know how to tell you. Two attacks, but now I would like to activate. Good. They just concede. they're just done. They're like, actually, no. They're like, actually, pick it up. Go home. Okay. Well, why'd they put my boy Krenko in standard? Come on, don't do it like this. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Oh baby, baby, baby. Don't. All right, let's can we tap Krenko one more time? Come on, that was so much fun. All that hand was Howl Squad and Krenko. My opponent killed the Draconautics, because that's right. You gotta kill the Draconautics. It makes a dragon for fuck's sake. But then I just played a value 3-drop into a value 4-drop, and they literally couldn't win. All right. Boom. Opponent, show me something good. They did it to mulligan, so their hand might not have been the greatest. But this hand's insane. That's how we sequence things. Left to right. We separate the lands from the spells, and then we go in order of cast. So like this isn't sorted by the order in which I'm going to cast my spells. Just come off like a conveyor belt. That way you don't have to think during your turn. It's one of the big things that I think saves you brain power in a match is sequencing. As soon as you receive information from your opponent, you factor it into how you want to sequence your hand. You order the cards in your hand in the way that you need to play them, and then you kind of just have a conveyor belt where when your turn comes around, you go, there's my land, there's my spell, and then during the next turn, after I'm done doing this and letting my triggers resolve, now I'm thinking about, okay, my opponent's probably going to board wipe. How do I recover from this board wipe most efficiently? So what I want to do is get this Afterburner Expert down, because even if I draw a land, I don't want to play Double Lord or Lord Draconautics Engineer. I'd rather Afterburner Expert, and then when they have to like play a threat to rebuild, I can go Double Lord afterwards. So this is great for me. Everything is haste, so I can play this huge boy with haste. They have to exile that. Seed of Hope. That's not an exile thing. You probably got a Leyline Binding. Everything? What? Well, we're pushing the damages. They probably got a Sunfall. So now if they got a Sunfall, we want to go Draconautics plus Seer Slicer. Maelstrom Pulse the token. Deadly Cover Up, okay. Ooh, Deadly Cover Up is really good. So they have Ancestral stapled to this. They get 3 more cards. Oh, yes. Yes. Somehow, thank F, I only play 3 Afterburner Experts. So when they go to exile all of them, It doesn't turn on their Ketchermos. That's so good. We'll pay Bastronaut. Play the Draconautics. Draconautics can give whatever I play an extra in haste. If I don't draw land, if I do draw land, I can just go double Lord. Annoyance pretty good. Now the Ketchermos is turned on. Ah, that's what all these junk decks have been. They're just Ketchermos decks. I see now. I see. Land. Land. Hi, Mary. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. We can go. This is really bad. Play a Lord, pass it over. Because if they attack, we take it. On our turn, we can go Draconautics. Oh, that doesn't do anything. Silly Jack. I was thinking we can go, if we have a land, we can go Draconautics plus activate, but that doesn't work. Ah. Good game, opponent. I like the cut of your jib. We're going to flip-flop life totals real quick. Yeah. And yeah, I'll just concede. Greet death with sword in hand. It's truth. I agree. Words to live by. Ketchermos, don't really have anything to do that. We don't want to put anything in exile, that's for sure. I think we kind of just do what we did game one. Oh, that's why they conceded. They're playing Ketchermos, and we've got a Krenko in play. That's pretty awesome. Okay, let's see if we can just do the Krenko thing. This hand's amazing. We kind of know we got to beat a deadly cover-up, though. We'll sequence it like this. Play this guy so he can die. No murder is very interesting. Damage is good. Play the Seer Slicer, pass it over. This goes wide. We're going to miss a land drop, so we don't want to play the Lord, because the top card could be a land. Nowhere to Run kills the Seer Slicer. Oof, there it is. Okay. Now we go... kind of want to hold these Howl Squads so that they can't surgical us. I think we just play this Afterburner. No, I think... let's play this. That's fine. Sorry, I had to figure out sequencing. So I'm going to play this because they're going to board wipe. And I think I just want to try to get as much value out of these cards as possible before they're gone. Yes, yes, attack. Damage is good. We're not going to activate the haste. If they do nothing next turn, we can just go. Sure. So we missed out on 1 point of damage. But they used the temporary lockdown. They probably have a deadly cover-up. They untap, play land, play deadly cover-up. They have just enough to take my Howl Squad. Oof. They Gix's command, pick up the Shieldred. I go Howl Squad. Attack. We'll get a land eventually. Shieldred's fine. We can go around it. Fanatic's okay. It's not the greatest. Just slam another Howl Squad. This way, if they take them out of the deck, then it doesn't matter because I don't have another one in my hand. This also, if I draw a land, is the most damage for the Lord next turn. Oh. I might just want to do that. Play this Lord. Play this card. Play this Lord. Deadly Cover-Up. No, that's not a Deadly Cover-Up. This might be digging for temporary lockdown. Yeah, they found it. They get one of my lords. I guess there was a reason to not play the 2-mana lord there. Okay. Play the mountain. Play the Afterburner Expert. Combat. This one, this one, this one. Ketramos is fine. And now it's turned on. This is less fine. Plus the Shieldred is really good. What's up, Tim? Appreciate you dropping in. How's your day going, bro? Up to Beanstalk. Yeah, we're playing against the new Junk Overlord Ketramos Junk Ketramos deck. It's really cool. Go to my turn. Draw. Sears Laser has haste, so that's something. They're tapped out. That's another something. They're at 15. That's another something. So I don't think I have enough to win. The issue is they have 2 blockers and they can gain 4. So they're at a perpetual 19 and I fog my 2 biggest creatures. We might be able to get some business in if we just start making things fly. So we'll just be like, go to combat. These 2 creatures attack, and then these 2 creatures will fly. Back to 11. I know they'll go back to 13. And then if they cast any spell, like this one that I know they have, they'll go back to 15. However, eventually I can try to Alpha Strike. I've never used that terminology before, I don't think, and it sounds pretty cringe, but I love old school terminology for Magic. Up the Beanstalk, yeah. Draw with Shieldred, okay. Yeah, they did the thing. Temporary lockdown, temporary lockdown, temporary lockdown, temporary lockdown. Okay, no. They don't want to get rid of their other beans. That makes sense. They definitely have it. They just don't want to get rid of beans because they don't need to. Binding, double draw. Okay. Oh, and this is game 3. This is for all the marbles. I think we're going to get buried here. Really, do we just need a crank out? It's just like, that's what we like need. Now our creatures will start suiciding into this Ketramos, and it's going to be really bad. Okay. Yeah. I appreciate you, opponent. I love you too. Yeah, so these ones are going to attack, and then these ones are going to attack, and this one's going to attack. They'll net gain 1. Yeah. And then I'll make a dude at the end step, and I'll pass. Really need a Krenko. Yeah, this deck is really cool, though. This deck is super sick. Deadly Cover-Up. I think I can concede to that. No, my opponent hit me with the die with your sword in hand. I'm going to respect that, and I will die to this Ketchamos in 2 turns. It's just so cool. The card, the art, everything is so dope. Okay. I'll play my 2-1. Good game. Activate. Put a counter on it. Pass. I'm glad I made him laugh. That's all that matters. Honestly, it's a game, so if you can allow your opponent to have a good time. What's up, MTG? Thank you for dropping in, bro. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, if you can allow your opponent to enjoy the game a little bit, with your interactions, that's everything. I know I'm not going to win this game, but at least I can still have fun with my opponent, right? Yeah, they're drawing a billion cards. They're literally getting to live the dream, and I'm so happy for them because honestly, I can imagine you play a deck like this, and not often do you get to do this awesome thing. Sometimes the pieces don't come together the way that you need to. And this is just so cool to see. Take a screenshot when they're done. Boom. GG's opponent. Well played. Yeah, that's definitely a post worthy for sure. Okay, running it back. We're going to keep grinding. I think we got 3 more matches to go. That felt like 2. All right. Then we got some Brawl after that. For those of you that enjoy the slower content, we're going to be grinding goblins all day. Played the first. Oh, hell no. Much better. Probably bottom of 1 drop. Round and around and around and around she goes. Hey, what's up, MTG? You know what? If you guys don't have MTG Hillbilly as a subscription, go subscribe to the legend. He's trying to get to monetization. He's only 9 subs away, so go hit him up. I know he's another fellow YouTube grinder, and I see him streaming all the time. So shout out to the legend. Go hit him up if you can help him out. It'd be awesome. Opponent is playing black red. I'm guessing this is black red bounce. We got menace, so we don't have to worry about trading. Got you, bro. Anytime. And we got to stick together. It's the gathering. It's all about community. It's the biggest thing. Let me see. Untap of keep. Play my land. Goblin. I think we just slam this lord. They have to kill this lord. And if they don't kill the lord, they have to kill the seer slicer. They're going to torch the tower, sacrificing the roll. Block a 2/2. Yeah. It would just make sense. Goblins are good at playing goblins. Hey, hell yeah. MTG playing goblins? Hell yeah, bro. Respect. I love goblins. I mean, but like that doesn't that doesn't of course that doesn't tell you anything because I've been playing goblins since like Jesus. I think I started playing goblins in 2016. I started playing Magic in 2014. It was like 2013, 2014 is when I started, like roughly, like not knowing how to play the game. I really started playing Magic by 2015, 2016. It's like RTR is like when I loved RTR. I started playing standard not well, but I started playing. And what do they got? They got nothing in the yard right now. We can go Draconautics Pump. The first strike kills it though. I think we just play a Krenko and just hope they don't have removal. But yeah, no, I love goblins and I've been playing I play goblins when it's bad and then when it's worse. And I haven't I guess I've played Legacy when it was good. Um, and I'm just a fan of the theme. I enjoy the aesthetic of playing the goblins. You know, whether or not they're good mechanically is indifferent to me. I'll play bad cards all day long just because I love it. Hey, hell yeah. Yeah, you know what? Of course, everybody takes breaks, 1000%. I think I took a break after I was playing standard consistently until Battle for Zendikar, and I took a break from Battle for Zendikar, from Battle for Zendikar and Oath of the Gatewatch. Those two sets were when I took my break. I came back when Shadows of Innistrad, Shadows of Innistrad started. This board is decent. I can go Draconautics plus Pump, combat, attacks with not this one, blocks, like to pump, and I can make a dragon next turn, which is really good. And now this is double strike, so this can trade here. Round and around and around and around it goes. But yeah, I just love I'm a Vorthos guy, so I love flavor more than pretty much anything else in the game. I love story. I love it when the flavor matches the art, matches the card mechanic. That's the most like beautiful thing in the world. And yeah, they have a torch the tower for sure. Because now they can remove the thing, kill my Bastronaut. Rotten Mouth Viper. What kind of craziness are you on? I think we sack this token, right? I'll lose 0 life. 4 is a lot. Okay. I don't know. We could just make a dragon. That's like the least productive thing in the world. Make a dragon, give it haste. This is dumb. Well, the Seer Slayers are just going to keep making stuff so I can have fodder to sack for this Rotten Mouth Viper, and the dragon puts them in a spot where they can't really attack. If they attack, I kind of just like chump block and then kill them on the backswing. It's a really interesting spot. Rotten Mouth Viper is amazing, but I just have 3 must-kill threats. Yeah, I think Doomsday Mill is really cool. I've lost to that deck a bunch of times. Okay, they can sack the token, and that's cool. Draw 2 cards, even more cool. Looks like they drew a Go for the Throat. Removal spell would be the only reason why I could see them doing this. I will lose 4 life. And then I will chump block the 6/6. Does this shock me? No. Is this too safe? I think going to 2 is fine. If they have a lightning strike, I die anyways. They have 2 blockers if they sack the Mirth. Because they can like draw they can manifest dread and kill something. Like torch the tower, right? They can sack this, manifest dread, and have a 3/2 blocker. That's a bunch of pumps. Combat. Opponent. I read that you have torch the tower. Yep. Totally fair. We did this math and we lose to it. Dumamu, I will come to bargain. That's fine. Go to blocks. Opponent, you had the thing. You could have done. I don't know. Anyways, opponent's deck is awesome. They're also playing Seer Slicer, so respect the fuck out of that. What the fuck are we doing? Rottenmouth Viper is going to let us discard cards, so we're going to play 4 Baloth. We're going to start there. We're racing, so we don't want slow grindy cards. Krinko would be amazing though. So even the engineer is not the greatest. The Windy City? Hell yeah. If you ever come up here, 1000%. Love to play some games of Magic with you. Okay. Sure. Let's try this. We'll be on the draw, but we can be really aggressive. We can go 1, 2, no. 1, 2, 3. Play it like this. I'm on defense mode. So, but they have Alicia. Kind of don't want them to power up their thing into a 3/2 right away, so I'm going to kill it so that they can only deal 2 damage with their torch. Because that's probably going to be an important point in this game. I'll play double spell, start my engines. Let the pain begin. Oh my god. I love Seer Slicer Goblin. I would like to attack. Trade? Oh my god, no! Don't kill my boy! Why you kill the Seer Slicer? He's such a good boy. Don't worry. I got one. He's gonna stay. He's gonna stay forever. He's my friend. Alright, now my opponent slams a board wipe. Cough, cough, and Alicia. Because the first striker against this board is pretty much a board wipe. They do nothing? Well, I guess we just go to combat then. Eyebrows to the sky. Yep, they murdered my Seer Slicer. To be expected. Opponent. I have another one. This is the Seer Slicer match. Opponent, why aren't these removal spells goblins? If you were just playing goblins, opponent, you'd have a great time. Carpusian Forest. We love a good Pussian. Sorry. Go to combat. Kasmack. We didn't pump for some strange reason. I guess we're holding this Grease Wrench. Nah. Let's just say we win. Let's tell them we win. Board wipe. This looks like a board wipe, so we're not going to play into it. Attacks. Shoot the Bastro. The Bastro not. Yep, that's good. Mm-hmm. There once was a fish that went to sea, and the name of the fish was Billy O.T. Alright, they're gonna go to blocks. Maybe. I would like to activate. Make it bigger, but not discard anything. That's not suspicious at all. Got him 4. Shrug. I like the goblin that gives haste and brings Cranko down to make a bunch of tokens with haste for the win. Yeah, Howl Squad Heavy is the shit. This card is so good. When you can just single-handedly, your opponent temporarily lockdowns your entire board, and then you go Howl Squad Cranko, suck it. It's like, yay! From my perspective, that line feels like Christmas. It's like, come on. This shouldn't be that good. Okay, you torched the wrong one. You're supposed to torch the Howl Squad Heavy opponent. It doesn't matter. GG's. Well played. So good. Okay, let's just keep running it back. I mean, to be fair, we're just playing against a bunch of control decks. And I think we got a pretty good control matchup. I think, let me see if we can change some numbers. I'm curious if something will, if we trim one of these and trim one of these, add one of these, trim one of these. Head Painter Studio. Shrug? See if the extra Lord matters. If we're playing that, though, I think Scamp is better than Grease Wrench. Really close, though. I think Scamp is better than Grease Wrench. Specifically because we're doing all the Lords now. You're in Plat? Hell yeah. Congrats. That's awesome. Yeah, I think Scamp is probably better than Grease Wrench. It's really close. Grease Wrench pushes a lot of damage by itself, but there's a lot of games where you need to have more removal. You're like, I have to answer this Scoos, or I have to answer this like specific creature. And Scamp sometimes just gives you like an extra burn spell in your goblin slot, which feels really good. Oh, we're going to 5, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. All right, we got the Scamp back though, so I think we just bought him 2 lands. We go like this one and this one. We have the most mountains in our deck. Yeah, play Scamp. Even if they kill it, then we get to ping them. Paw Patch is good. Goblin. I'm going to ping their Paw Patch. Play a Burnout. Combat attack. Decline. Oh, what the hell? It's a 2-mana 2/2 or 2-mana 0/0. It gets +1/+1 for each forest you control. Disguise is 5. When this creature's turn face up, search your library for 2 forest cards, reveal them, put one of them in the battlefield, tap, the other one in your hand. That's kind of cool. So we'll play our land, play our crazy Horde Master thing, go to combat and attack. They trade with a 2/2. Which, if this was a Grease Wrench, we wouldn't get any damage, but because it's a Scamp, we just get to throw more damage at their face. There's a Cranko. If we top deck a land, we can just slam Cranko. Okay, opponent's doing mono green things. Mono green is notorious for not having a lot of removal. which is going to be insane if we top deck a land. We did not. However, we'll be fine. This Krenko is going to go, hello, darkness, my old friend. I can kill both their things again. I'm going to do that. They're not going to do it. Now it is double strike. So they're not going to really be able to effectively block ever again. However, they do have 5 mana, so they can play like a 6/6. Some giant dumb thing that allows them to draw cards. But I feel like, oh my god, that thing has vigilance and trample and haste. And it gives them treasures when things die. No blocks for me. I think we can race. He's back. He came back. We'll attack just for this guy. You want to do your first? You want to do your thing? Double block? No. Well, I would like to pump him then, because this is 8. Pass it over. Well, sometimes your 1-drop's really good and just gets double strike. Oh, I take it all back. I take it all back. Opponent's attacking for 16. Opponent's attacking for 16. This is so cool. This game is so cool. They have the gold vein back to block. However, they can't block because the Bastronaut has menace. Good game, and I drew my other Krenko. That's amazing. Yes. Well played, opponent. Okay, so we're playing against Mono Green Ramp. We want Brother's Hood End and Witchstalker's Frenzy. We don't want Painter Studio. And we don't want Afterburner Expert. All the rest of our cards are pretty good. We want to be aggressive, and we want to be able to take out all of their... If they have a very aggressive start, we want to be able to stop their ramp, their creature ramp, and we want to be able to present a clock with our 2s and 3s. The Brother's Hood End might not work as well as Pyroclasm would, which is why sometimes I enjoy playing Pyroclasm in that slot, because we have a lot of X3s now in our 3-drops. However, I think that Brother's Hood End is sometimes like really good. Like, we're gonna see how good it is this game. Opponent mold, I believe. So turn 1 Bastronaut, turn 2 Horde Master, turn 3 other Bastronaut pump. So land, Bastronaut. We want to draw our 4th land. The Krenko is amazing if we can get it to resolve, especially in this matchup. See, it was really important game 1 that I was able to hit their stuff because they play fight spells. So here, for example, I'm going to go Firebrand, Bastronaut. They probably have a pump spell, but I'm going to try to kill it. They don't. Sometimes it's worth it to make your opponent have it, because if they don't have it, then you can just play your game plan quite efficiently. All right, we got a Verge. This means that we can go Lord and still push damage. No, I do not do early access. I really wish that I had. I don't know how to get that. I'm pretty new to YouTube. We've only had the channel for about a year now, and or actually, we started in... I think it's been just about a year now. So I'll look up when the anniversary is. But okay, we won versus Mono Green. That's pretty dope. Let's just... Hey, we made him platinum. You were talking about platinum. We made it. But let's just keep grinding. Yeah, I think I could reach out and like ask for that stuff. I want to make sure that I have like the channel where I want it to be. I want to make sure that the quality is where I need it to be, that I understand what I like to do, like shorts wise, videos wise. Right now I'm very much so exploring. I'm sure all of you can tell on the channel, it's what kind of YouTube shorts do I like to make? What kind of YouTube shorts do you like to watch? What kind of videos do you like to watch? And I'm trying to keep it as true to the Goblins content as I possibly can. And so it's a really, really fine line that I have to walk. And that's why it's really important when y'all comment and you like, because then that gives me data, and I can use that data to make educated guesses about what you like and what you don't like. This 3-drop is never going to live, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Play my land, play my Scamp. All right, show me a Pixie, bounce your Nightmare, play your Pixie, or play your Nightmare. Siren's fine. Crack on the Siren. Okay. I think the Scamp's like best in this matchup where I get to go like, oh, I'm just going to kill all your stuff. So we drew our green source. That's insanely important. We'll play the Bastronaut first. So now they have the option of giving us. Yeah. The issue is now we still get to ping them. Like, it's just so good. Play a Scamp. We want to save the Bastronaut for the future because if this lives, it'll just double strike. It just wins the game. They have a counterspell, but we have a cavern that we sandbagged so that they would leave up their mana for a counterspell instead of being proactive about getting things on the board. We'll go to combat. They probably have the tap it down a dude, flash 2-1. Entity Tracker is flash. That's a 2-3. That's just so good. Well, I'll poke them 15. And yeah, this is going to be pretty bad. Entity Tracker is the build of Dimir that I think we have the worst matchup against because they just draw so many cards. So they're going to draw 2 here and then probably cast a Nightmare or a Fear Missing Out. I could see either one of those. Go to combat. Because it had flash, it gets counters. They drew 2 cards. I'm just going to pass, keep it back as an amazing blocker. Goblin. Play. We can double pump this. I think this single pump is worth it. Go to combat. They're reading Cavern to see if they can pump, if I can pump with Cavern. I cannot. However, what I can do is ping it after combat if you make a block. Oh, we didn't pump this at all. That was such a mistake. And now I would like to cast this to ping them for 1, killing this Entity Tracker. Nowhere to run? Nowhere to run. Puts a counter on the instant speed, kills my Bastronaut. No. I mean, this town's pretty good. Now I just get to play another double strike Bastronaut. If we draw a Lord, it's like the best draw. You have to email them and then give them a link to your channel. That's all you have to do. Oh, that's awesome. Well, hell yeah. I'll definitely do that. I thought it was like you have to meet certain bars and stuff. I'll definitely reach out. It's like, if I can give the viewer early access for goblins 1,000%, I would love to do that. Get some crazy brews out there. Spyglass Siren makes a map when it enters. They can shock me with that Nightmare. Oh my god. This is really cool. Oil Deep is going to target themselves. They're going to get to take a land, discard it, or discard the profs, and then they get to redraw. That's so good. Oh, my back. Oh. Oil Deep? Okay. Make it a 5/5 lifelinker. That's pretty good. We drew the Lord, though. Do we just trade with one of them? Combat, attack. They have to block 1. And what I'll do is I'll go pump. We'll deal 3 to the Oil Deep. And then we'll do 3 to the Oil Deep, or 2 to the Oil Deep, 1 to the Spyglass. So we trade with their board, and we get the Sear Slicer for next turn. They can go Entity Tracker, Nightmare, Nightmare. So draw, trigger, shock, go to combat. Profs puts 2 counters on Entity Tracker. They might just die to this burnout, though. Let me do the math. That's 4 right now. If I double pump, that's 8. So not quite dead yet, but very good. There should be 5 more of the access stream duty. That's crazy. That's awesome, though. Next to combat. Will attack. Blocks. I would like to pump once. 6 versus 8, but I have more bodies. Versus this deck, you need to go as wide as possible. We'll get another death trigger. Crank goes so good next turn. Play the Sear Slicer. You let me attack. I get the guy. I'll pass. If you're playing against your red opponent, just trying to help y'all out, kill the goblin before I declare my attack, because the Sear Slicer just requires me to have attacked. It doesn't have to deal damage. So you can just kill it like before. You have like so many instances before I declare attacks. When I go to move phases, kill it then. But I can understand if you're scared. All right, opponent. I want to land off the top so I can go double spell next turn. Okay, it doesn't matter because they still have a nowhere to run. See, this is why Entity Tracker is so powerful, because they just keep looping these cards, but they keep drawing more and more and more, which is amazing. A lot of builds don't play Entity Tracker, and I don't understand why. It's a little bit slower, yes. It's a little bit more clunky, yes. Is it worse in the mirror? I'm sure. But it's just so good. And I'm so dead. Play the Cranko, pass it over. Good old passing over. They're just going to burn me out in the air. So right now it's 1 counter. 2 counters. Also, this does not say once per turn. So if you thought this was like one of those new not broken cards that says only once per turn, this does not have that clause. So if you want to play busted cards, Entity Tracker's for you. No blocks. You have a billion cards. I have none. We'll go to the next one. When you have 4 Hopeless Nightmares, I can take that loss. However, we'll bring in 4 Obstinate Baloths. Trim down on a lot of this stuff. Try to go as low to the ground as we possibly can. Our Do Nothing Painter Studios and our 4 drops are the first things we cut. As good as Cranko is, it's really bad against a bounce spell, or when my opponent can just draw a card every time that they play their Nowhere to Run. Sometimes being able to kill a creature repeatedly is better than having a billion creatures. Depending. Okay, this hand's great. I like this card a lot. Profs is probably the one way that they can play around it. They can just outplay it by going super big. Play the Lord, play the Lord. This might be a game we just name Boloth and just cast it. So they were thinking about killing it. Instead, they're going to wait to see if my 3-drop is more impactful. This also allows them to be aggressive. They choose not to be. Play a Verge, play a Lord. I think I pass. I mean, a board stall is something I'm okay with. No attacks. They can Nowhere to Run my Dropkick Bomber and then block it, and then they eat it. Entity tracker, eh? That makes sense. Yep, Storm Chaser's sounds pretty good. Now, I'm really excited for this. When my opponent does this, I'm like, yes, please. Boom, Kasmaka. Sometimes it comes down like a hammer. Yep, you can draw your card. I know it's not going to win me the game because I got 2 lands in hand, but it feels so good. Feels so good. It can trade with his otter, I guess. Okay. Good old-fashioned board stall. Kind of love it. Play the Howl Squad. Now we go to combat. Make the token. Attack like this. And like this. No, we'll just attack with the token and we'll give it flying. Because why the hell not? This way they have to choose, do they want to block with a Spyglass Siren, waste removal on it, or just let me shift a second gear? I mean, we got them to use their nowhere to run on my 3/3, so that's a win. Right? Right? You're gonna what? You hit my lord? No. Okay, that's fine. Take 2 in the air. Damage is good. Shift a second gear. I'll play the Scamp, and I'll pass. Okay, Hopeless Nightmare is good. Yeah, this entity tracker is just going to bury me in value. And that's kind of how this matchup goes. I think I usually go super wide and I'm able to like play around my opponent's removal, or I should say play through my opponent's removal when they're playing Demir or Esper. But the combination of entity tracker plus Prof's idyllic memory is just so strong. It's kind of crazy. Go to combat, make a deed. Thankfully, I still have. Sorry. Thankfully, I still have my dropkick bomber, so I'm still able to make these tokens that have to attack fly. I will lose them, but it means I get to push some damage. He said, thinking. Yeah, that's pretty good. They can kill my lord, and then trade with the 1/1 in the air. Maybe I needed to name Baloth with this cavern. Okay. They just bounce the removal spells. They don't bounce the Hopeless Nightmare, which makes sense. Kill the Scamp. The Scamp does no damage, so I'll target myself. No blocks. And as long as they hold this, I can't really... So I couldn't really block because they just shrink my dude and eat it. And I can't really attack because they just shrink my dude and eat it. So this Balor's in a really bad spot. Afterburner's okay. But now they know where to run my Howl Squad Heavy. Draw a card off the entity tracker. They can jump with the Spyglass Siren. Or go to 12. I guess that's also an option. I was going to say, if they have a profs, I'm in really bad shape. Yeah, profs will get them to their removal. They kill the Afterburner Expert. They put 3 counters on the entity tracker. That's 5. They have 2 more prowess triggers. So that's 5 plus 4 is 9 plus 5 is 14. Yeah, that's lethal. Good game, opponent. Well played. Yes, it's 9. They go to combat. They put the counters in the entity tracker. I didn't count the Spyglass Siren. So 9, 12, 14. GG's, opponent. Well played. All right, we'll be running it back. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And that's how it goes. That's the beautiful thing about Magic is its variance. It's not always the same. It's an ever-changing puzzle that you have to work at. It's like a Rubik's Cube that hasn't been found or solved. Let's play another match. Why not? After this, we'll be playing some General Creat in Brawl. So if you enjoy EDH content, if you enjoy Brawl, more chill stuff, let me know. Comment down below. We're just hanging out. We're going to be streaming every day. Every day it's usually 1:30, but 1:30 p.m. Central. I live in Illinois, so we're Central. Maybe we need more lands, as I say it. Going to 5. Oh, this is a bad hand. We'll try it, but this is a bad hand. All right. Land, go. Opponent, I can crack you with these 3/3s. You're not ready for this. Is this Oculus? Oh, this is the artifact deck. I am prepared to get wrecked. Riggedy, riggedy, wrecked, son. All right, Draconautics Engineer, pass it over. Next turn, best draw is a land. So we can go Draconautics Engineer, give it haste. What does this do? This is a ramp spell. So it's 2 mana ramp. And then you can reanimate stuff. Pretty good. We did not draw land, so we're just going to play a Horde Master. And if we don't draw another land, we're just going to play another Horde Master and just start to pump with these Lords. Sometimes you just go Lord into Lord into Lord, and your opponent can't keep up. Excuse me. Whale. Perilous Snare is going to take one of my Lords. Or this Draconautics Engineer? Yeah. Okay. Play the Lord. Go back to smacking. Smacking Town. Yeah, I feel like this is definitely where we want to be. We want to be able to just jam threats, but with slightly more lands. But I feel like overall we're in a great spot. Now the Mightstone and the Weakstone might be able to kill this Draconautics. Just maybe. No, they kill the Lord. Okay. Death trigger. Land. There is a god. And he likes magic. I will attack for 3 again. The robots deck getting roboted. Mr. Robidato, Mr. Roboto. Okay, they can pay. They can. Yeah. That card's real good. That's ancestral for 2 mana. 2 mana draw 2 is good. Like 3 mana draw 2 is bad. 2 mana draw 2 is like good-ish. There needs to be upside nowadays because power creep. But 2 mana draw 3, great. And you gain 3 life. So that's pretty busted. However, if you have to pay 7, slightly less good. Now, opponent has a bunch of... They can just start casting Affinity for artifact spells for free. I think that's worth it. They just start winning. What does this do? Braided Net. 3 mana artifact. This artifact enters with 3 net counters. Tap, remove a net counter from an artifact. Tap another target non-land permanent. Its activated abilities can't be activated for as long as it's tapped. Cool. So they can, in my upkeep, tap down one of my dudes, and its activated abilities cannot be activated for as long as it's tapped. And so they'll just continue to do this for 3 turns. We drew the land, though, so hell yeah! We're going to go Howl Squad Heavy, Fanatical Firebrand, go to combat. It's Kasmackin time. 6, put you to 6. Pass it over. I'm just thinking about how good the Brothers Hidden is going to be. Yeah, Brothers Hidden is going to be pretty good. Pretty good. They might bring counter magic in, so we just got to make sure that if we cast a Brothers Hidden, they're not going to have mana up to counter it. I think that's going to be very important. If they do nothing, we can go activate Draconautics. If worst case scenario, we draw land. We go activate Draconautics, give it haste, and then kill them. They go Synthesizer. They can cast like 3 Affinity for Artifact spells in 1 turn. Make 3 Synthesizers. Or 3 Slackrums. That's 6 blockers. I don't think we can win if they do that. So they got to ping themselves for some damages. Somehow, some way. Now, I think the best thing that we can do here is if we top deck our Krenko, that's like the one way that we can play through this. If they go triple artifact, they make triple blocker. Maybe the repurposing bay will allow them to pod into something dumb. I know they can sack the Might Stone and the Weak Stone, grab a 6-drop, but I doubt that this deck plays a lot of 6-drops. Yeah, see, I was pointing at it for them. Sure, opponent, sure. That's fair. I mean, Perilous Snare is good. Okay, so Perilous Snare is going to exile my Lord. My Lord. I'm telling you, opponent, it's going to be the Lord. Opponent, it's the Lord. The Lord. Yeah, exactly. It lets them fly. My goblins can just fly and then they auto die. Discover 5. Another Perilous Snare. Okay, now they're going to take my House Squad. No, they take the Draconautics Engineer because they have 4 blockers. That makes sense. 4 15/15s. Totally fair and balanced magic like Richard Garfield intended. We're not at max speed either, so this is really bad. I can take one of those hits. I went from like feeling completely in control to feeling not control at all. And I probably showed them that they could sack their Might Stone in the Weak Stone by hovering over it. So, shout out to my opponent. I'm glad I could walk you through that. I think going to combat is not productive because we need 4 or 3 blockers not to die next turn. What's crazy is I think if they kill just the other Lord, I think we're fine. But killing or drawing the second Perilous Vault's really good. Okay. Ping your face. Now I have to triple block with my board. And then I still take 15, go to 5. Oh, good game. Although they could, yeah. You know what? Let's not concede. Let's let my opponent do the awesome thing. How often do they get to do something cool like this? I want them to enjoy it. If they want to do more stupid stuff, do more stupid stuff. There's nothing more fun than doing something crazy. Good game. That was a good game. I had them on the ropes most of that game, and they slammed a couple threats and won. That's how good Repurposing Bay is. Brotherhood End for sure. Pop Patch doesn't hit artifacts. That's very important. I think that's really it. We're just trying to race. So Afterburner Expert's not going to be the greatest. The fact that it hits Perilous Vault is awesome, because that means that I can hit their O-Ring, or, yeah, Oblivion Rings, all the way down to their ramps. The ramp artifacts. Also, Brotherhood End hits Repurposing Bay, which is super important. You have to shut down the Repurposing Bay, because that's your opponent's birthing pod. I knew as soon as I saw that card, I was like, this is going to be dumb. All right. Play the game, and no mulligans. This hand's decent. Doesn't have a board wipe, but we have a decent curve. And we can go Hollow Squad heavy into Krinko. Especially if they have a slower start. This is just where we want to be. Yeah, opponent's going to be holding up counter magic. And we're just going to be saying, no, stop it. We just want to say no. Probably going to loot. Okay. This is literally the dream. Make the token, not this one. Attack with the one that had to attack. There's no reason not to attack with the other stuff. 4 attacks before blocks. Tap to make a billion. Nah, not worth it. We will not sacrifice because we can't kill the shark and it doesn't change the math on them. Yep. Foundry's good. They can make an incubate, which is another blocker. They can make a synthesizer, which is another blocker. However, they're just dead. And I hate to say that. I love what they're doing. Goblin, Lord, Seer Slicer, Tap Krinko. They all have haste, combat, attack. Well, game 3. GG. Okay. I think we just do that. That felt good. I feel like very much so we're just trying to get a Krinko into play, turn it sideways, and then make enough dudes so that their targeted spot removal O-rings, their artifacts, their artifact O-rings can't be effective. Much better. Bottom of 3 drop. We go 1, 2, 3, or 3, depending if we draw land. Oh, you're headed to bed? Thank you for hanging out, MTG. Really appreciate you being here. Hope you have a beautiful day. I mean night. Damn it. Let me see. Yeah. Interesting. So this can only be used for artifact or for abilities? I mean, I have abilities, so that's nice. Combat, all attacks. I will sack the Scamp, as crazy as it is, to kill your 2/2, because it's a 2/4. And if I'm trying to go wide in the future, I don't want you to have a second creature to block this. Yeah, because now they still can't block this. Yeah, spring loaded. Yeah, it's pretty good. Kills a Shieldred, which is awesome. However, I just hit my thing. I can use this to unlock a door, which is amazing. Do we just do that? That guarantees our land drop. No, we could just untap slam land. They could try to like play something proactive. If they have a proactive game plan, this is the best course of action. If they have a bunch of removal, this is the worst course of action. But we have to take one of two lanes, and I think that I'd rather be more proactive than reserved. Perilous Snare is the card that, yeah, they have a bunch of removal. There we go. They played the Repurposing Bay. Brotherhood End. Okay, this is crazy, but I'm going to unlock this looking for a Brotherhood End. Neither one of those are Brotherhood End. Okay, so now they can start Repurposing Bay their Perilous Snare, which I guess gives me the Howl Squad back, so they don't want to do that. They can put the Incubates into a 1-drop. The 1-drop can be into a 2-drop. I mean, the Braided Net can be a 4, so that's something. Eventually, we're going to hit a land, though. Yeah, I really don't know. So we can go Sear Slicer Goblin, Firebrand. This is a 3, but they can only transform 1. They could also just tap it. Yeah, it's pretty good. No attacks. I'll pass. This is gone. They make a 3/3. They're attacking for 5 each turn. I think I can still outpace them if I draw land. Land means I can slam this Krenko and go Dropkick Bomber the following turn. No land means I just play this Dropkick, which is fine. They just attack with that. Okay. They're at max speed, which does something. It just taps to put a counter on something. That's pretty good. Now they can Repurposing Bay, sack the Power Stone. Sack the Saw Blades, go get another Perilous Vault. No, I guess Synthesizer. That makes a lot more sense. Opponent's going to... No fucking way. So we just do it, right? We just slam it. This is insane. Tap my Sear Slicer. That's good. Oh, I'm so happy. That's insanely good for us. Go to combat. Trigger before damage. I'll sack to give myself max speed so that this Bastronaut has double strike. So this is now an attack for 6. And I get a guy, and I'll pass. Wow, we had no business. We have no business being this. Okay, they have a split up. Back to parity. We're both back to, pretty much where we were. We're trying to race land. Opponent, I am so sorry. I drew the land. Krenko? I would like to tap this Krenko, please. Go to combat. Opponent, GG's. Well played. Okay, that was effing awesome. Well, hell yeah. This has been the standard grind, and now we're just going to play some Brawl. If y'all want to still hang out, you can hang out. If not, no worries. Appreciate you being here. We're going to stream Goblins every single day. So if you enjoy Goblins, just drop a like, drop a follow, wherever the button is.